folks, welcome to the 10th of April 2025. Take a little country tour here on roads I've never been. On 34th Avenue here, passing what used to be the home of Kalamazoo Fence Company right there. Man, back in the day, the best fence company that you could call. And there was their home, Cal Fence. We'll see what's further down the road here. Well, this is an interesting little area here. No street signs. Wow. 3 roads coming right into a point right there. Azaleas are out. Look at that. All right, let's keep going here. See what we can find out here in the hinterland. Something I've never seen before. Way out in the middle of BFE, there's a caution wheelchair sign. Very curious. There are no shoulders on the road here, and I imagine that there's a person that has an electric chair or so and goes up and down the road here and probably been close to getting hit. Probably complained. And so the sign was put up. I can understand that. Seen it here first, probably. There's signs like that in town and around other places. I just never seen one way out. I've seen deaf child area. I've seen slow down children at play. All right, we'll keep looking. A lot of newer builds out here. I'm looking for old barns, old farms. I don't know if we'll find one. Old dirt road coming in here. There's an old barn. Sheesh. This is County Road 653. Several mobile homes we passed back there. Every one of them were in poor condition, abandoned condition, and I just didn't have the camera up quick enough, and I'm not about to backtrack on that. I think that you can understand. Okay then, look at here. That bear's got him a-going. But I found something right here. I passed by it, turned around. This looks like a little old church that's been converted into a home. I think that's what that is. We'll be right back. Then we come up here to the Four Corners, and I don't know where we're at here, but there's a couple of old growth buildings here. I'm calling this place right here on the corner definitely turn of the century. Absolutely late 1800s right there. Over here we're in Almena. That's the Almena store. It's here. Couple of homes. And this right here, pretty cool. Looks like the home next door here might be an older one as well. But I see something that I'm not going to pass by. Almena Cemetery. We are certainly going to come in here and take a look. I shall be right back. Woodsman of the World. The Fisk family. One of my favorites right there, the Zinke. It's an old cemetery. Here's your pitcher pump. Pretty cool. Little look at the cemetery here from this angle. This is definitely the newer section. And they have a little bit of room to go, but not much. And I don't know if they will be expanding over here on the other side of those little pine trees, because that appears to be a park over here. We're going to take a look at that too in a minute. I'll look at some older gravestones. Right back. I don't know if any of you have noticed living here in the United States, but more and more the newer headstones and markers getting laser graphics displayed, and or they're full color cartouches with the beloved. You see more and more of that. And this little cemetery here has quite a bit of it. There's a firefighter right here. Fire rescue. Riley J. Manning. Yes, I think that I like the idea of being able to get some graphics displayed. Some of them, you know, it's to everyone's taste, and I would never sit there and tell you, oh no, you know, that looks horrible, or, you know, why would they want to do that, or something like that. Not at all. If I had a headstone, I'm going to be cremated. But if I had a headstone, I think I know how I'd want it to look. But that's not going to happen, and I'm fine with that. The money that I would have used to purchase something like that, my gosh, my daughter could update her vehicle. And why leave her bills when I should be able to leave her a little something to repair the vehicle, so to speak. You see this in many of the cemeteries, especially down in Colon, Michigan, where it's really prevalent. Organization, I'm sure a veterans organization came along and provided these plaques exactly like this one of William Warren Lance, and had those attached to their headstones if the families wanted that. And they put them on the back sides. And you can see right here too, and leaving the front of the stones. And we always, this little bit, flag needs to be replaced, it's tattered, and so's this one, and they'll be doing that. I don't have any with me, or I do it myself. I didn't know I was going to be graveyarding today. I have a whole sack of them that I bring along with me this time of year when I start going, and I would have replaced this, but here shortly, the groups will be coming through here, generally Boy Scout groups and other civic groups, and they have bags of flags, and they come through and place them on the veterans' headstones. Yeah, most of these, from being over the winter, these have all wintered here, and they're in a few of them in a less than honorable state. Now, is it proper for me at this time to walk through here and remove these because they're tattered? That's a good question. I've never asked that question. I know somebody that I could find that out with a text. When they mow, they get these turned. They get turned around a little bit. But yes, if it was legal and proper for me to retrieve these today, and I knew that, I'd go through here and I'd glean every single one of them that was damaged. I bring I separate the little flag from the stick. The stick gets disposed of properly, and the flags I turn into a local funeral home. Happens to be the same funeral home that is going to be taking care of my cremation. And what they do is they take any flags that you bring in, American flag, state of Michigan flag, and they placed them in the with the body of a veteran that's being cremated. And that's exactly what they do. And so I brought flags in from all around and brought them in there to them. And they really appreciate that. They're a fine group down there. And they take care of that. You can also drop them off at the flag drop boxes out at the VA or at the VFW halls. And then again, I understand that the VA, they do the same thing. They place them in the in caskets, or they're being with men and women that are being cremated with the remains. I've heard that there is a flag burning ceremony, how to properly dispose of a tattered flag, and that the veterans out there provide that too. But I've never been invited to one, and I could go over here to the VFW and ask them. But I know that that's performed very privately and with a lot of sincerity and love for the country. That's for sure. I see another Zinke down here I missed on the way in. We're going to take a look at that. I shall be right back. Yes, this is certainly the oldest part of the cemetery. We have a Civil War veteran here, David Cisco, Private Company E, 3rd Michigan Infantry. Born 1848, died August 24th, 1923. Thank you for your service there. I'm going to turn your marker around. Be right back. There you go, Private Cisco. Looking better. See one over here. Of course, is sunk into the ground quite a ways. Might be able to get a DPV that appears on the top. Another one over here in the cedar. These are cedars. The cedars of Lebanon. Think how big those cedars of Lebanon are. Building ships out of them. Okay? The cedars that I was brought up with were at the corner of Grandma's house. They're big around as your thigh or smaller. And this is a big tree. This is a big cedar. And this is small compared to the ones that they would harvest and use for building. But nestled right here, somebody's stone. Another 50 years, that'll be absorbed. Thereabouts. Another little woodsman over here on the ground. The Scales family. Oh yes, the fallen dove. Yep. This is Jenny E. Yep. You don't see too many of those, especially with a woodsman of the world like that. It's the first one I've seen, but I understand it. Now here's a newer marker that's been placed. Jeremiah Stafford, Private Company K, 1st U.S. Cavalry, I believe. Yep. March 18th, 1849, and he died in 1896. Thank you for your service there. Those that are here with you. Glen C. Hill, they're in the back. And others along here. Let's go up here and check out this. Boy, there's a lot of moles here, big moles. Yep. See the this person looks like, boy, I just can't read it. Well, they died in October of 1858. Civil War vet there. Another one here. This one was in the War of 1812. What? New York. Yes, War of 1812. Crosby's. Boy, I just can't. I can't just read that. Let's see what the marker says. I'll be right back. The marker is broken. There's not much I can do with that, but it just says war veteran. His first name is URAWG. I think it's Urangu Wells. It's Wells. It's the Wells plot. But man, it says Crosby, so we'll leave it at that. Try to pronounce some names. I'm pretty darn good at name pronunciation from all over the place. But I've also learned that if I just can't get it, leave it alone, because you may come off with a word that will really piss off the neighborhood. And I'm not here to do that. World War II veterans, Goffs, underneath this big old grand tree. Broken stones. It's as bad as going to a foreign country and you don't know the language. But then all of a sudden, you decide that you're going to give a little stab at it. And you start messing up a little bit. In some countries, they flow with that, and they take that with a grain of salt. They have a good time with it, and very friendly. But there's other places that you attempt their language and you run a little afoul of it, and that could cost you dearly. So it's best to some things, leave them alone. Delilah D., wife of Bernie Griswold. Looks like she died in 1857. And I'll guarantee you that this tree was not there. It's between her and the Eagers. 1879s. Blanchard could be cleaned. That's a nice stone right there. Clean that. Only because of where it's at. It gets under the tree like this. Somebody's laid a little rock formation in the, looks like the form of an E or an M or a W, depending on your point of view. The Browns. I'll go over here and take a look at this big zinky. I'll be right back. Well, here lies Fanny Parrish. She died January 30th, 1850. Age, it's like 47 years, 10 months, couple days. Had a finial, wore off, broke off, but somebody put it right there in the ground right next to it. Another one right here, it's very similar in design. And of course the finial still exists. Very good. So there's some more over here that exist as well. There's some that are laying flat on the ground. Sorry, I can't quite read that. Go over here and take a look at the big zinky in the neighborhood. Now look at these other headstones here and the condition that they're in. Okay, keep in mind that these people have been here since the 1860s or 70s. And you can see the condition of their stones. This one would have had a finial on the top as well. Okay, this is Mary A. I'm looking at a 1880s something. Again, 13th Michigan Infantry, Company K, but no date of death. Okay, and we come over here to the zinky. I guarantee you that this is the way this looked, just almost perfectly like this the day it was set. Just the compound that's in the zinc The alloy repels all kinds of biologicals, like the obelisk next to it. Okay, this could have been placed on the same day. We have mother and father. Those are zinky. You have the removable plates that the family could have, they would have designed and had choice of what plates to have on there. These are the Crowfoot. This is the Crowfoot family. Let's say that these are probably also family members that the stones have broke off. Fred, son of A and E Crowfoot, died in 1864, a year before the end of the Civil War. This has been here. Now, it takes a couple of months to make them and to ship them, okay? But this has been here since before the end of the Civil War. You see that as people are added, they'll add a plaque. She was buried here in 1910. Okay. A little history of the Zinkies. Down here should be the manufacturer. Yeah, down here, and they're generally always the same. Detroit bronze. There's also some made in Chicago, and I believe that there was a concern out east, but most of them are Detroit. All right, I'll be right back. We'll take a look at the other one. I bet you these folks certainly came from the old country. Ja, Erkenbeck. Erkenbreck. Wo ist du? Mills. There's another little woodsman of the world straight ahead right there. Let's go look at there just a second. It's only 30 feet away. And I don't know if I'll be back here again. Free Love Burns. James R. Rhodes. Died November 9th, 1885, age 31 years. Free Love Burns. Sylvia Burns. Bonfoy. Here's Nettie Burns. She's missing her finial. Right there. 1889. Yep. All right. Go see this Zinky. Well, this seems to be the Failing family. Might be Fallion, but I think it's Failing. This is Jane H., wife of G.W. She died in 1885, 40 years old. Okay. See the handshake here on the side? Represents the Lord welcoming you through the veil, taking you by the hand. You see the name of Failing on the bottom, done in Woodsman of the World type lettering. You see the shocks of wheat, prosperity in life. She had a good life. Different things that these mean. She was certainly a Christian. Down here you have the never-ending circle of life that has been broken. She's been released. Again, the Detroit Foundry. And on this side, we have Zalma G., daughter, age 3 years, died as an infant. Beautiful, lovely she was, but giving a fair bud to earth to bloom in heaven. Yep. And again, the dove. Okay. I've studied for a while, a couple different books, engravings on headstones and tombstones throughout the United States and in Europe, and tried to commit to memory what some of the meanings, drawings, or the little symbols have. And every now and then I need to re-jog my memory. Take a look at these closer. All right, thank you again for watching. We're gonna go along here in another video out here in the hinterlands today. I think that Mr. Brooks, his headstone right there and the symbols on there speak for themselves. This seems to be the whole little Brooks family plot. Pretty cool. All right, thanks again for watching. Heck of a pine tree right here. That's a beauty. Wish they were all like that. See you in the next one. Thank you for subscribing. I sure appreciate it.